Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have HECARIM vs Balveth. And you know what, it's time to look at HECARIM again because the farming changes have come through, the meta has shifted, spam ganking has been thwarted, and the random sideless gamers who basically had 3 CS per minute and about 3 brain cells, goodbye. So now does that mean HECARIM is going to be meta once more? Sequencing, farming, power level 6. We're seeing the data indicate so, but it's not going to be like Season 11 kind of gaming, you know what I mean, where it was just so obnoxious you couldn't handle it. This is not going to be that kind of farming meta. We're still 2 minute 15 small timers. There's not that much experience in the jungle that you can basically get away with, well, just AFKing for 20 minutes. But, you know, I'm sure there will be some... Oh, hello, Balveth. Nice mid lane ward with the pride from the Gragas. Flex pick at the moment. Very strong. Covered a coaching session of Gragas on the coaching channel. Let me just zoom this out here a little bit more. I think I'm liking the 52 zoom. Let me know if you prefer the 52 zoom. I think more perspective is definitely good in these gameplay reviews. So we see this cut. You know, that's the most important thing. This ward lets you see this cut. And if you as a jungler in this elo miss this ward placement, either positioning, I don't know what to tell you. You should 100% see it was warded. Look at this. I just want to showcase you. Oh no, look, he warded. You know this, you see this, you have to adapt your pathing accordingly and adapt your vision control accordingly. And what it actually means for you is that you could basically do the Raptors knowing that they see you, go down as if you're like, okay, I'm not going to gank it, and then you J-cut around, right? That's where you kind of go like this, and you circumvent the vision, and you get the gank off, because they think, oh, Balveth's going to go farming. No, you still do your gank, you just mislead them with the pathing, hook around the bottom side, boom, done. It's a much better way of doing that instead of wasting time. Now, you could just repeat gank and come back, obviously, but, you know, that would have been a better first opening salvo, just because you know that it also means that the HECARIM's 100% this side already, and won't be able to sort of cut through and do anything about it should the fight develop. 313 finish on the HECARIM gamer. We have the Balveth just finishing the blue, so I don't want to know what went on there. A lot of wasted time. And obviously the Renekton was pushing in the Aurelia, a ghost activation and E. Well, then sometimes you just gotta ghost E and you will die. That's HECARIM for you. But this is a standard template now. We promote this. I've mentioned this in all the courses. As you know, you would have seen from the pop-up, I have courses for every single MMR coming out. Only 2 more main ones to go. You're low elo and gold. Got you covered already. That's all linked below. But we talk about this framework quite often. Full clear, look for the gank, get the scuttle grab. They TP back. Let's just swap these over here like this. Now we can basically say, hey, Croc, stay out. Don't get your belt in a knot. Let's go back and get another kill here. Super juicy. Obviously, this means it's a lot closer for your top lane, especially if your top lane is low. If your top lane is just giga low, you can do nothing about it. Balveth in the meantime goes bottom lane and dives this one, a bit of equal and opposite. The minions didn't do the work, unfortunate. Can Jenna do the gaming? Some were burned from Aphelios, so... Classic Janna. I do miss those days of memeing Janna on EU West. This rank 1 Janna play, when was it? Season 9? 10? Does anyone remember that? There was a rank 1, the rank 1 was a Janna main for a long period of time. There wasn't even Ardent Sense of meta, it was years later. Anyway, so we have here the Gragas fighting the Katarina, obviously nice disengage versus the all-in of the Katarina. That's what people think. They think Gragas is an all-in engager. I mean, sure, but he's also just really a disengager, isn't he? So basically what we're looking to do is HECARIM here say, right, full clear, can I crab, can I gank? Obviously gank and then crab because we have that time. Then obviously repeat gank if possible, counter jungle if possible. If someone spends too much time down here, we know that the second Krugs will be up at your 420-ish. We know that these will be at your 440-ish. I'm ranging it. And then, you know, you could always look to do that if the gank isn't possible. Otherwise reset and then sequence again. It's also why you shouldn't go blue Grump, by the way. We didn't mention that. And I'm sure someone has been like, well, you didn't mention that. It's because I mentioned that when it was first a thing. Mentioned in patch 10.2, 3, 4? When was the Evelyn video? It was the fast level 6 clear. I covered it then. Point was, I've been talking about this for many years, right? Since the beginning. And you should have gone Grump into the blue, which means this Grump would have been available for this particular take, should the gank not have been possible top lane, but it was, so we would have skipped the Grump anyway. So the most important thing here is if you are the sequencer here and you see the second Grump spawning, and you're like, sequencing, yes, but look at top lane. Can you gank that first and then fall back down to your Grump? Yes, okay, then we're going to do that. We also know that the Balveth, when they show, you know, bottom lane here missing a camp, like do you see this Wolf camp here is level 1? This was missed, right? So you're going to see 12 CS, then you're going to see another 24 CS with that Scuttle Crab being snagged. You know, that means they didn't have a full clear. That means one camp was left on the map. You won't entirely know what it was, but you know that one camp on the bottom side was left available, either Wolves or Grom. So when they do resequence and go back to base after the bottom lane dive, they're going to be looking to do this into this and then maybe full sequence it down. So HECARIM has the tempo advantage now for CS control. The Gragas is fighting the Katarina, both level 6. RNG Scuttle here. This isn't up yet, and because the sequencing was efficient, important, the third rotation camp isn't up yet. So you could basically say, hey, look, let me just go down to my Krugs and do the third sequence. But the third sequence, it hasn't begun yet because we were efficient about it. The framework was good, which gives us time now to say, hey, can I outside and roll the Scuttle Crab? Hey, can I do a Dragon? Hey, can I gank a lane? And all of that's really huge. We'll get the Scuttle Grab, we'll go back down to the mid lane here, we'll get a nice E into a nice R, we're going to fight the Katarina, just stand still and twirl. Pretty easy sometimes. And, you know, the level 5 on the Bel'Veth, the level 6 versus the HECARIM, that's what we're looking to get. That's it. It's so simple. The framework works permanently, and it worked even in the ganking meta. For the 99% of you in the game, the ELOs, all the ELOs, this still worked. Because 1 gank, 2 gank, 3 gank, we've ganked this one. Aurelia's going all in on the Croc. While I say that, you know, we have had 4 ganks already as a farming jungler, and we've used our ultimate. As soon as the ultimate's up, we look to use it, we use it, that's great. We are ahead of in farm, and in ganks versus an enemy jungler because we used the framework. And obviously this pathing was just lazy, right? Like you gotta know to hook this or ignore it and come back later or something, especially when you know HECARIM's going up. It's just the stuff that you gotta process here. We have the combo down with the Aphelios, and now the HECARIM says, listen, my work is done. I must return to my jungle, eat the monsters alive, and then go up. If I lose the dragon, I lose the dragon because that's fine. I want this anyway. And also, we know all of this is available now because if Bel'Veth dies here after sequencing down here again, and then this was taken, we know that she didn't have time to do this quadrant and cut into the dragon, so we know that these camps are up, which means we can look to levy that sort of play. We'll snack the blue there again, ignoring the Grump here, but we're ignoring the Grump because we want to get the Herald quickly. We want to make sure we're getting that Herald before Bel'Veth or anyone shows up here, and we currently have Leather Belt over here with Prior taking Krugs. We have... What is he exactly? Sci-fi disco 80s guy skin or whatever it is. I still don't own one. I said on Twitter it was disgusting and I hated it and it looked ridiculous like a bunch of Haribos on the chromas. And I wasn't gonna buy it. I haven't bought it at all. I haven't bought it. There you go. That's what I get for recording at 3 a.m. It do be that way sometimes. See, there we go. We snagged the Herald with 2 levels up. Bel'Veth is taking the red side. Can do nothing about it. That's farming junglers for you when you play properly. But also, it lends itself to HECARIM's talents. Fast rotations, right? You can sequence quickly, but if something were to occur that was a bit random, you can just E to it and ghost to it. Like, you have the ability to close. Now, obviously, you're not going to E from here and ghost from here, but the point is you can get close, then use those spells. Warwick's the same thing, except that's more like, oh, look, I have movement speed all the way because of the W passive. Those champions are always going to be good in those scenarios, but when you add in the sequencing, pretty good. And again, like, give up the dragon, man. Your bottom lane don't have the Prior. They just aren't in the picture right now. Your mid laner, you just ganked this, kind of wants to reset, isn't really able to go and just straight up fist for this right now with all the gold he has. Just sequence, go up, cut in, knowing that this is down if they go for it. And if Bel'Veth doesn't go for it and she does this, well then, you know, we get this in front of her, and of course now we can contest that using the Herald. So, nice jungling, well thought out. There we go. All in a base skin. Gragas is now bottom lane, by the way. He does have TP this particular game. We'll get a little bit of a knockback here, and then we'll get the nice double fear. Very, very good and juicy. And while this is going on, the Bel'Veth can just watch. There's nothing else that she can do. The HECARIM can just control the entire map without invading. Now, when we talk about, you know, like I've been speaking about a lot on the coaching channel and in general in this channel, jungle denial. You know, that thing that gold junglers just don't do, but you should start thinking about. In Platinum, you don't do it all either, but you think about it, and then a Diamond where you really should be acting on it. And of course, that takes different forms, right? We have not seen counter-jungling, invades, and fistings in the Bel'Veth's jungle. The denial didn't take that form. The denial took the form of, hey, I'm gonna give you this, and then deny you this, and then counter-gank you this, I'm gonna deny you the gank. So, it's not always a counter-jungling concept or an invading concept jungle denial. It's just preventing the enemy jungler from being able to do what junglers are meant to do, which is get your own econ through your farming mechanisms, yank your lanes, and get them ahead if possible, and then control objectives. the other thing we're meant to do is deny the enemy jungler from doing those exact things. And I've been sort of promoting this in the jungle PDF and in a graphic I made at the end of last season, and most recently in the main channel video as a sandwich. No, literally. The main channel video that I just released on Saturday, I represent this as a sandwich. I've been very sick lately, I don't know. That's just the way it came out. But the point is, when you think of jungle like that, you know, you're hitting 2 of the 3, then the third one is just to make sure that the enemy jungler doesn't get 2 out of 3. So it's a nice concept, I think. We have here the Bel'Veth moving up, level 8, 100% deserved. Aurelia is now 0-5-0. We've snowballed the top lane, and I love these games a lot. We know Bel'Veth's coming. We know Bel'Veth's coming. Watch for the bottom lane as well. Don't overcommit, Jenna. Whew. We had an ADC main on the coaching channel in the gold game. Died 11 or 12 times, just straight up overcommitting all the time. So I have PTSD today because I recorded that earlier in the day. Yeah, so we just hold the wave here. That's fine. We ignore the Grump here. Why? Because we know we're going to have this Katarina pushing into the Gragas. So the Gragas can basically just say, I'll hold you off. I'll do the damages. Nice flash there. But, oh, that was a night. I like that. I don't see that enough. I do not see that enough from non-high elo Hecarim mains. Knowing which walls you can ghostly stampede through. Nicely done again. Good rotation. We forsake the Grump to kill a Katarina. I love my Grump, but I like that trade even better. Now, obviously, the Renekton is pushing top lane here, but yes, as I was saying before, we were rudely interrupted by events in the game. I thought this was a farming jungler game where I had time to think and speak. Anyway, when you camp a top laner and everyone's like in their lower games or the diamond games and basically saying, yeah, but my jungler ganked top lane and he didn't gank for me, I'm bottom lane and that's why we lost. No. No, you lost because you can't track the enemy jungler and you should have avoided the ganks. I mean, if you get ganked 20 times, no one's telling you not to die a little bit. But just don't die 40 times as a bot lane, you know what I mean? That's like, it's pretty avoidable. Now we're going to go and set a trap here and just avoid that W from the Bel'Veth. We have the Shojin build. Obviously, that's the thing we're not really talking about here, but this is the mathematical build in terms of data. Now, the Shojin Rush is by far the best. You get your Mana Moon, and then you go the Eclipse. Now, a lot of people still go the Radiant Virtue for the super heals, but the Eclipse is really, really good for your solo carries, obviously. So if you're playing this build, it gives you the haste, it gives you the rotational power, it gives you that BF Sword, lovely item early instead of a Serrated Dirk. And then, of course, you get your Mana Moon for that scaling and your spam ability, and then you slap into the Eclipse, which, while obviously not the original item, but still good. And Dirk is always good, right? It's instead of going the Duskblade, but you can still go the Duskblade, but the shield gives you a bit more, you know what I mean? There we go, let's just watch this fight here. There is the Gragas ultimate. See, it can be used for engage, but large is not really engage. It's more like a separator, a pick tool, a disengager. And depending on how you use it, change the nature of a team fight. The E damage reduction is working, and we're just kind of playing with our food at this point. I mean, who doesn't like to pick apart their shrimp? I mean, we all do. Some people don't, but, you know, some do. There you go. Now, obviously, there's no real objective on the map here. I would like to see, I would say here, I would like to see a bit more of this, you know? Like, they're not in the picture, and you're super fed. I would like to see some counter jungling now, because now we want to elevate this game set and kind of push the game forward a bit. I think it's good to kind of put some wards down, do some scannings, take some camps, you know, loop back into this sucker here. Maybe we can snack that before everyone's up again, and then fall back to our blue side, reset, and maybe gun down to the dragon, but, you know, like, the Renekton's doing it for us, I suppose, but I would like to see the jungle think about that. In your games, you will have to think about it, like, he's your top laner. Even if you spam gank him and get him ahead, he's not gonna do that for you. I don't think so. So Katarina's now moving in here, deep vision by the Janna, which is gonna sequence our camps again. Like, you can. There's nothing wrong with this, but I always suggest if you can 3 quadra control, boom, 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 do so. See, look at this. Aurelia's on the bottom side. Avoid the E, Karma shows up, make sure you cut towards your teammate who can help. They really will go for the ult to get the slow, and the Gragas does the super body slams, percentage max HP, 7% max HP from that W is pretty huge, by the way. And it scales with AP anyway, so yeah, why not, right? Why not? Hecarim then goes back to his Krugs and finishes that off. For Villas is the mid lane here. We have the full-on engage 2v1. See, this is the difference. This is what I'm talking about. Someone's out of position, there's no hesitation. Use your flash, use your draw, get the kill, because now we have numbers. Now we can use those numbers for other things. Or we can just get objectives, and that's good too. Oh no. Well, See, they thought Zeri was by herself, and then it turned out she was not by herself. It is winnable. I mean, I do agree. I do think this game is a winnable one. Just a suspicion I have. But how easy? It's relaxed. You know, put on some tool, sequence, get a gank off, take a crab, repeat gank or counter jungle, depending on what the enemy jungler does. Go back to base, look for a gank bottom lane if there's nothing because they're losing, because they're most likely are. Just sequence again, gank your top laner again. Look, I snowballed my top laner. Now they're going to have huge pressure here. The enemy jungler is going to maybe feel like they need to gank bottom lane and take a dragon. Fine, I'll just counter gank with my ult level 6 because I'm ahead, and then I'll take a herald. You know, then again, you can counter jungle or just keep sequencing. It's pretty relaxing from a playstyle point of view. And of course, you can rotate the things, catch waves, push waves, control objectives, and this build at 2 items is pretty good. Watch and observe. We have here 2 people who are about to die. And they will die. Wait. No one is dying. Well, that was a cliffhanger. My apologies. I thought 100% they're going to die, but the karma rotated. I apologize. I honestly don't know. That's why I like going blind. Renekton, kill someone, please. Save me. Bail me out. Oh, there's just a bank joke just sitting there, and I'm not going to go into it, but there was a bank joke there. Okay, so basically nothing's going to happen at this particular point. This is where a lot of heck remains, though, from an educational perspective, not an edutainment perspective like just what happened there. Most of you probably stop farming, right? Like you have 7, 8, 10 CSPM trajectory, and you end up with 5 or 6. Why? Because we don't push the waves, hold the waves, and then basically say, well, there's no objective. Can't go into the jungle blind. My team are resetting. I'll do a sequence. Now I'll shadow. We push. Maybe we take something. Maybe we don't. Maybe we do, and they show bottom lane. Okay, I'll take some camps here. You know, you just got to make sure you're always moving. Just keep swimming. Just like Finding Nemo said. Always look for the next resource that you can absorb while heading towards the goal of your ultimate plan, which in this case is obviously we're saving up for some Eclipse gaming. We're saving up for the next objective. We have a huge lead. There's no reason to force anything. If we can deny some stuff, that's the best because they can't afford to leave. And even if they take this, they can't afford to leave. They can't just run somewhere and kill you if you're playing intelligently. We'll walk over this ward and clear this. Janna gets some deep vision. Again, what did they do? They do nothing. So you can now push into the jungle with vision control, right? Try and bait someone. Bait the impatience from them. And normally, it's the other way around. Just let's watch this play out. Nice tornado. A very nice tornado. Normally, it's the other way around, right? What do I tell you if you're playing from behind? Just be patient. Let them tilt into you. And that usually works. But also when you have the lead and you're starving them slowly and you're sieging them like in the Middle Ages, they're going to run out of food eventually. They're going to run out of CS and things to do. Idle hands, as it were, right? Idle hands. They will get bored. They will get fidgety. They'll try and do something that they shouldn't, and you just capitalize. Some will overcommit as they shouldn't, and you capitalize. And that's how you do it. So it works both ways. Ultimately, it's a war of attrition when it comes to these kinds of games if they have scaling and wave clear. They don't really have it this game, but good to note. Janna, again, you know, I would like to say, as much as we all hate Janna as assassin plays, well, that did basically no damage, but a nice little knock-up. We also have here a kill from the separation committed. We E down laterally, but obviously the Shumpo escapes the Katarina. Well, we'll take the pick. 1 pick equals an objective. 1 pick equals pushing other ways. 1 pick equals more counter jungling. 1 pick equals the next fight. 1 pick is the best. And obviously, we used our ult in that particular case to make sure we got that. Katarina's going to go in here, exhaust. Everyone turns to peel the Katarina. No hesitation. She goes deep. We all vortex. Make sure she can't get off anything. No resets here. And then we'll chase down the next targets one at a time. Buffett goes flash. E, interrupted. Now be careful. Good sirs and madams, let's not overcommit. Still the Katarina Belveth. And I know you guys have seen enough of this in your non-high elo games where a Katarina Belveth just has 1 fight with a reset. And they're like, well, that sucks. Man, true, it does suck, but in high elo, they're expected to know how to play around it. So now we can counter jungle as we leave again. Idle hands, taking away everything, leave deep vision. Hey, guys, if you want the Baron, come and take it. No stress. Like, come and do this right now. Take the Baron, please. Please try. You're inviting them. Someone will always take the bait, and that's when you make the pick again. Repeat the process. How much do we have? 1,500. We need a bit more. Get it all. There we go. Now we can base. This is warded, so they have eyes on us here, but we have the mid inhib. This will push itself. So now you can look to kind of do a shove and cut. So basically, if you have one person going here that's super strong and one person going here that's super strong, ideally you got the TP guy down here that can afford 2 people rotating, Renekton. The other guy goes here. What you guys do is shove for pressure, cut in. You know they're going to have to cut back or lose. So this should be clear for you. You scan, you control, and now you push this up, say for basically a 4-0-1, and this should crash in nicely, allowing this to happen. If they send 2, then you just all in and kill. And obviously, if you need to keep pushing this out and drifting, you can do that as well. So here, basically, that's kind of what happened, and what they do is they basically say, we see the Gragas, let's make this commitment, which is, of course, the right play to do instead of being slowly stuffed out, but the Renekton TP's back in, and the rest of their team rotates in from the cut, which we already saw, right? We saw the cut already. Very nice. So the red team tries it like a last ditch. We see what's happening. We see what they want to do. Can we make a pick quickly and get out? So we can kind of deny that pressure while Katarina catches mid lane. Excellent reactions by the Renekton. Excellent reactions by the rest of the blue team to say, oof, oof, quick, quick, let's go. And they did so perfectly. Now in your Elo games, it's not going to happen. Well, to be fair, most likely your Gragas is here. Your Yorick is here. And your team is pushing to cut now. And your Renekton is here, so he just dies freely over pushing. That's most likely what happens. But idealistically, that's what we were looking to do pressure-wise. The red team had to try to do something because they're losing so heavily. They tried, they failed, it's worth the attempt technically. But, you know, if you go for this one, the Renekton, maybe you kill him, maybe he kills 2 of you in the process, you lose the Baron. So it's better to kind of use this. If you see the Zeri and the Janna looking to shove and cut early for the Baron play, you can maybe set a Fnatic bush somewhere, right? Old Fnatic, not new Fnatic. And then, of course, make the pick. So now Aurelia is overcommitting as they do. As they do. Hello. Can I have some fun? Oh, the kitty emote. Yeah, there we go. The Goon Squad has arrived. This minute him is pushing. And now the red team's like, oh, but interruption. Interruption. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Nice try, though. Not really. No, she's straight up minting. But, like, this is all from the sequencing. Farm, gank, do this, TP, gank. I mean, how many times? It's been happening for 10, 13 years. Actually, we didn't have jungle at the beginning. 12 and a half, 11 years or something like that. Junglers doing this to top laners. Kind of funny when you think about it. Now we see, this is how you close out games. This is it. This is how you get a lead. Unassumingly, you still gank more than the enemy jungler, you make the right pathing reads, you give up one thing to take 10 other things, you counter gank and you use your ult immediately, you control objectives thereafter, you don't overcommit counter jungling, although I do think we could have afforded a bit more counter jungling denial. We didn't have to because our Renekton did the job, but in your Elo you might have to do it. And then we just play the map. Patiently, patiently, patiently. And now you're saying, well, Virkayu, that was kind of slow. So yes, it was. But it's only 24 minutes. Oh, that was a nasty fear into a barrel of destiny. That was definitely some witch's ale in that brew. It's 24 minutes. Like, this does not feel like a 24-minute game, right? That's how methodical it was. This is one of the best ways to climb in solo queue right now, and HECARIM's the one to do it. And as you can see from the build here, yeah, it's a little bit different. We don't have that ridiculous Omni Vamp, but 60 AD, some lethality, some haste, a max HP physical damage passive, armor penetration, and movement speed. That's huge when you're playing HECARIM. Not to mention the shield. I listed everything and forgot the shield. Like that, you know, it's insane. So that item is still very, very good for solo carry, solo queue gaming. Hopefully you can see the methodical nature of jungle and how farming jungle style with this framework, specifically HECARIM, but obviously anything else like Karthus can make this work as well. Karthus is very strong one-on-one, ISO damage in the queue. People don't really seem to know that for some reason. And of course, you can go exhaust against certain obnoxious matchups. So, and don't forget the coaching site has all your courses that you need. We have the low elo ones out, we have the gold one out, platinum's coming very, very soon within the next 2 weeks. Diamond right afterwards. We'll have bundles, we have coaching, we have free PDFs for you who sign up, like literally 37 pages, 7,000 words, free information to help you improve. Coaching VOD library, all the coaching sessions recorded, 1 hour long, symposium lectures, whole bunch of stuff. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing. I'm hoping to make it like a jungle paradise. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment if you did. Head to Virkayu.gg for all the good stuff. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.